What's up, guys? It is me back for first time in a while with a college football video. I'm gonna be telling you guys my thoughts on Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC. I'm gonna talk about SEC expansion and more. So, before, hit the like button and subscribe. And the more you do that, more content I'll put out. So, let's go. So, guys, the news broke last week in SEC Media Days that Oklahoma and Texas were trying to join the SEC. And I didn't even know. I thought this was fake at first because, it came from a reporter nobody had ever heard of. And it was kind of way out there. But the more you got into it, you realized how real it could happen. And by now, we know that it's happened. Oklahoma and Texas have officially joined the SEC. So, I think, as many people have said, this changes kind of the landscape of college football because it shifts the balance of power because you have two of the biggest brands in college football moving to already the biggest brand in college football. And now the Big 12's just going to probably dissolve and go their separate ways. Unless they can get somebody like BYU or Notre Dame to come join the Big 12, which I don't think is going to happen because Notre Dame has made it obvious that they love how they're independent, and I don't know if BYU will, but I've also heard that the Big 12 and the AAC are thinking about merging, so that would give them a boost, but they still couldn't compete with the SEC. It's kind of crazy because, now the SEC has, 8 of the top 15 brands in college football, over half of them, and it's kind of not fair at this point. I mean, I think we could see the NCAA kind of dissolve because of they're always one step too far behind, and the SEC's just trying to make moves they think this is the direction college football is heading, and they want to get in front of it, and I think that could be that they're doing the smart move by doing that. I think they're gonna try to add more teams. This is just the beginning. I've heard there's rumors that Ohio State, Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, Duke are all talking to the SEC, and if really any of them join, it's gonna be really hard to for any team to win because you're just adding more big brands on top of big brands in college football. And now, with the 12-team playoff in play, which I think is going to happen eventually, you're probably going to have 4, 5, or 6 of the teams in making the playoffs are going to be SEC teams. Not even mentioning the lower tier SEC teams now that could be at that tier by then. So it's kind of crazy. Do I think they'll wait till 2025 to join the SEC? No. I think they'll be there. Think they'll be in the SEC by next year. But now conferences are scrambling to try to make up for this because now the SEC is so far. They were already way ahead in the balance of power. If you say anything different, I think you're kind of crazy. I mean, there's the only conference you have even an argument for is probably the Big Ten because they do have Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State. They have Michigan. These are all big brands, but Michigan State hasn't been good for a long time. Michigan's kind of just dropped down. I mean, sure, they've been ranked and stuff, but they haven't really been a good team for a little while. Ohio State has kept up, but I think they're just kind of at a disadvantage right now because Ohio State is their only team competing with. I mean, there is legitimately 3 teams that people are arguing in the SEC could be the best team in the country. In Georgia, Alabama, and then Oklahoma. I mean, you and then when you add in Florida, Ole Miss, LSU, these are teams they call them second tier SEC teams, but these teams could be dominant in any other conference in college football. I mean, we don't know what we're getting out of Florida and Emory Jones, a quarterback for them. We don't really know. We don't know who's going to be that good this year, and it's just kind of crazy because it's going to be a fight for who can get who, and Notre Dame's the big piece left on the board. Whoever gets Notre Dame is going to still have a fighting chance, I think. kind of ironic because they're fighting Irish, but they're going to have a fighting chance because, like, if Notre Dame joins the ACC, you have Notre Dame and Clemson, which those are two big brands of college football. While I think there's going to be more, I don't think teams like Clemson and Florida State are going to, I don't think they're not going to have them in. Remember, they have to have 11 of the 14 vote yes in order to pass it. And I just don't, like, with a Clemson, I think South Carolina, which is my team, is there. I think South Carolina is going to say no. Florida's going to say no. And so you could have somebody be like, calling up from South Carolina and be like, yo, Florida, you want to, combine here? So, I don't know, guys. Tell me your thoughts down below if you like it, if you don't like it. I think it's a good move for the SEC. I think it's kind of, the SEC didn't really need them, but it's going to give the SEC more, it's going to give the SEC, it's just going to make it more powerful. And people are talking about the pods and stuff. I think that's too complicated for your average college football fan. They just like the divisions. I mean, if you have to move Alabama and Auburn to the East, so be it. I think the two divisions are good. And sure, it gives you a chance, but, like, I don't know. I don't think it's a good solution. But, guys, let me know what you think down below. I hope you liked the video. If you did, like and subscribe. And if you didn't, you can tell me about it down below, I guess. So, thank you, guys. See you later.